I'm Anthony Santiago.
I'm Justin Montes.
And this is Salty Jobs. We're your hosts for the video series where we explore real careers that keep the marine industry moving.
And today we're at Summit Marine Fire and Safety here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Founded in 1989, they've been specializing in fire equipment and life-saving appliances all across the nation.
Today we're going to do a deep dive on their immersion suits, life jackets, and everything it takes to make sure these items are ready when crew needs them the most. So Anthony, are you ready to go?
Absolutely. Let's go test this gear out. I'm here with Will Williamson, the Marine Service Manager here at Summit Marine Fire and Safety. So Will, can you tell me a bit about what led you into this role and working with marine equipment?
Absolutely. My maritime career started over 30 years ago in the U.S. Coast Guard. I did 21 years of service in first responder service. When I retired, I started teaching at various academies here in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. That's where I met the president and vice president of Summit Marine. There was an instant connection, and I was brought over as the Marine Service Manager, and that's where I am today.
Well, first, thank you for your service. And it also sounds like you have a lot of different experience in the industry. For someone who wants to follow a similar path, but may not have the experience, where do you recommend they start?
You could go online, apply for a position here, and we have an extensive training program that will bring you up into the industry as a service technician, and you will learn all about fire safety and fire appliances and life-saving appliances.
All right, and I know that one of those fire safety pieces of equipment is an immersion suit, and that's what we'll be testing out today. Can you explain what that is and why it's used?
If I was out at sea and I had to go into the water or into a life raft, I want to keep my body core temperature at 98.6. This full suit that is fully insulated will keep that body core temperature warm and preserve life at sea.
Well, Will, sounds like I need to get suited up.
Absolutely, let's go.
I worked with the Summit Marine team to test out an immersion suit, starting with a full leak inspection. I connected a gauge and an air hose, carefully inflating the suit to just 0.1 psi. Any more could damage it. Once inflated, I sprayed the zipper and seams with a soapy solution. If air was escaping, bubbles would form. No bubbles meant the suit was airtight and ready for use. Next, I put the suit up to the test by simulating a rapid suit up. From a seated position, I stepped into the legs first. Then put my left, non-dominant arm into the suit. Using my free right hand, I pulled the hood over my head and partially zipped the suit up before working that arm into place and finishing the zipper. The built-in mitts made it tough to manage, but once I was zipped up, the Summit crew secured my face cover and this suit was ready for action.
Joining me today is Glenn Day, Vice President here at Summit Marine Fire and Safety. Glenn, could you share with us a little bit how you found your way in this career and some of what you do here at Summit?
In the mid-90s, I emigrated from the UK to America. I got myself a job servicing fire extinguishers for a fire and safety company. So I kind of dedicated myself to learning that, advancing my career, and eventually got to myself as a vice president of this company where I oversee the operations.
And for the viewers out there who are maybe considering a profession in this industry, what are some of the strengths or characteristics you think will really make them thrive here?
You don't need a college education. We will give you all the training in order to get you to the approved status. So it's a really unique opportunity.
Amazing, I love that. And part of the job I understand is inspecting life jackets like we have here. Could you tell us about the inspection process and maybe what could go wrong if it's not done properly?
Yeah, as with all life safety appliances, they're always an integral component or part. So in a life jacket alone, you have lights, you have bladders, you have cartridges. All those things need to be checked periodically and made sure that they are functioning. So integrity, doing things right, things like that, and really showing devotion and to your work, that's really important.
Well, that does sound very important. The last thing you want is to have to use something like this and it doesn't work.
Correct.
So that being said, let's jump right into it and let's inspect some of these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to life jackets, there are three main activation methods. Automatic inflation activates automatically when the jacket contacts water. Manual inflation is triggered by a pull tab. And oral inflation allows the wearer to add air by blowing into the jacket. I worked on a Type 3 life jacket that uses manual inflation. The inspection starts by unscrewing the CO2 cartridge and checking the diaphragm to make sure it hasn't been punctured. Once I confirmed the cartridge wasn't damaged, I placed it on the scale. Since the weight was between 135 and 140 grams, it was properly filled. After reinstalling the cartridge, I took a final check of the status indicator. Red means disarmed, but green tells us this jacket is ready to deploy. I put the life jacket on and pulled the activation tab, and just like that, we've got a fully functioning life jacket, ready for the next crew that needs it. Today we're going to do a deep dive on their immersion suits, fire safe, and we're going to do a deep dive today on their immersion suits. Immersion. Today we're going to do a deep dive on their immersion suits.